Welcome to Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast. I am your host, Dave West, codename Phantom Troublemaker.
And I am your co-host, Noel Wood, codename Crapshoot.
And I'm your Cobra intern that's serving up some fudgy butter finger blasts. Codename Legion Cub.
Oh, what's wrong with you? Follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Click that follow button and leave us a 5-star review. The audio version of this episode will be available this Friday wherever you get your podcasts. And then next week, the audio-only segments episode will be available also Friday, wherever you get your podcasts. We also review the Energon Universe comic books. Our latest review of issue number 4 is available now. And if you're watching us live, you're on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Reviews for Raymar and the Fatal Fluffy go up this week. And my interview with Brett Barton from Toylanta and Joelanta is currently available. But you can also listen to the audio version wherever you get your Needless Things podcasts. Our next live stream is going to be on March the 10th. However, Noel and Kristian, I'm going to throw this this caveat out there. If there's exciting news from Toy Fair, we will be live on March the 3rd. But we're going to wait and see, if there's anything worth talking about. And look, you never know. Maybe March the 2nd, there might just be a Needless Things live stream just to talk about Toy Fair stuff if there's not enough Joe-centric stuff. We'll see what happens. We'll play that by
and
ear.
Isn't it March 11th is going to be Isn't March 11th the day of the Joe live stream that was postponed? So,
March,
we may go live on the 10th and have a whole
I
bunch
thought
of...
it was the 18th.
I think it's the 18th.
Is it the 18th? Okay.
And I think Noel is on a little bit of a delay, but that's okay. We want to watch Noel's cursing anyway. He's on a curse delay because we all know how Noel is.
Right. Well, you get Angry Noel going, and
so yeah, I believe March 18th is the next Hasbro live stream for G.I. Joe. Yep, Rec Ship says March 18th. And we know Rec Ship is correct ship.
he also enjoyed the Toylanta interview, by the way.
Awesome. Good to know. Yeah, everybody check that out. It was fun. A little behind-the-scenes look at toy conventions. And Brett will be back, and we will go deeper into what it takes to run a toy show. There's a lot involved, but here we get a little history of Toylanta and how Brett came to be running the show. Follow us at Audible Interlude Podcast on Instagram. While you're there, check the pinned stories and get yourself some Audible Interlude merch. We've got, of course, plenty of T-shirts, but you can get phone cases, mugs, maybe pillows, I think. I don't know. I think hats are an option now.
Waifu pillow that says Cobra Intern. That is what
Yes.
you're missing at your
Well,
house.
that's right now, because we don't have the full pillow designed yet. What I've heard people are doing are just getting one of those Cobra Intern shirts in a medium and sliding it over a regular pillow and spraying a little lavender on it. And that's just that'll do for now. That'll do for now. That's your homemade. Yeah, that's your homemade Cobra Intern to snuggle until we get the real deal out there. What's the next slide? Let's find out. Oh, look, we're getting right into some news. Not a lot of news, but I think this one's going to give us a little more to talk about. Everybody in the chat hanging out. What is up, Yorktown Joe? Rec Ship's here. Blitz 0065, Toy Reclaimer, Tom Henry, who I got to tell you, Tom Henry, not having the dot in that name really throws me off. Yes, Tom Henry. Of course, the Cobra Intern shirt is still available somebody buy Tom Henry a Cobra Intern shirt for his birthday and spray a little lavender on it. All right.
Tom Henry, make sure you stick around. I'm sorry, Tom Henry. Make sure you stick around for the whole show tonight. I've got something special for you.
Oh, wow. All right. So yeah, we saw this Diecast Insider, who is, I thought was a retailer, but I guess maybe is like a news outlet. I'm not sure. But anyway, they revealed in the pop culture line from Hot Wheels a G.I. Joe Sky Striker, which, as we have discussed on the show many times, Hasbro has determined is the signature vehicle from G.I. Joe, which is understandable. Matter of fact, I think we might have even talked about it last episode. How it's the first thing you see in the cartoon. It's one of the most prominent things. Yeah, because we did the for our last audio episode, we did an Instruments of Destruction about the Conquest, and of course, you can't talk about G.I. Joe airplanes without mentioning the Sky Striker. And it's just a prominent figurehead kind of vehicle. So it looks like the first G.I. Joe Hot Wheels release from Mattel is going to be the Sky Striker. And I mean, it looks really good. I don't know if they've released an F-14 before and this is just a repaint.
That's what I was
this is completely new.
Not being a Hot Wheels collector, like I enjoy watching restoration videos.
They released
do more than cars now.
They've been doing more than cars for a long time.
Well,
I had
planes cars when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, see, when I was a kid, the Hot Wheels, it was literally a wheel with a stick. And then by the time I aged out of Hot Wheels, they were just starting to do penny farthings.
You're hanging out with Oz?
Yeah.
Back in my day, Hot Wheels meant you lit the hoop on fire before you rolled it with a stick. So they did release a Top Gun F-14. Okay. So this is likely just a repaint of that, which is fine. I mean, that's what it is. But this led to Noel threw the idea out there of, why not talk a little bit about the potential for more G.I. Joe Hot Wheels, because that's kind of what we do on the show here. And so, Noel, you threw that out.
Yeah.
So what was going through your head?
Well, I thought, obviously your mind is going to go to the big, the big ones, which are going to be like the Vamp, the Ostriker, the vehicles that are cars, things that you would think are like custom made for Hot Wheels. And I'm kind of particular when it comes to like scale. I want to buy a toy line where things are kind of scaled together. So I'd love to have like those things. And then with the Vamp, you're talking about, because Hot Wheels is, as we can see right here, they love to reuse those molds. Obviously, they're die-cast molds, so you want to get a lot of mileage out of them. So with the Vamp, you're going to get your Stinger, you're going to get your Mark II, maybe even get your like Street Fighter vehicles, or not Street Fighter, but your whatever else they've done, the
Tiger Paw.
Dreadnought one, Tiger Paw, yeah.
And
same thing with your Ostriker.
Tiger Sting. Before anybody yells at us, Tiger Sting.
That was one of the other questions I had for anyone that has been buying Hot Wheels recently, because when I was looking into it, there was discussion that in like the regular Hot Wheels line, they actually incorporate plastic a lot more. And I guess because of cost, die cast is used less and less. So with these pop culture ones, or the sort of collector ones, do they still stick with die cast?
Well, my guess is this will be $7.99 to $9.99. And it'll be one like the Star Wars ones they do.
Well, I have this guy right here, and he is his cab is definitely die cast. You can tell he's got some heft to him, and the trailer's plastic. And I believe the Bumblebee is also die cast. But one of the appeals of Hot Wheels, and this was always why, they've been around since the 1960s. The appeals of Hot Wheels is because they have those wheels that have the very thin piece of plastic that touches your your rail, and then you've got the heavier die-cast bodies, so they go fast. That was the whole like marketing behind them. So I think that Hot Wheels are going to the bodies are primarily going to be die-cast. I mean, I even had some as a kid that had, and not just I'm talking about the windows and stuff and like the interiors that are plastic, but had a few plastic parts on them. But mostly you're going to get die-cast.
Okay.
So the first thing I thought of is exactly what Noel said, is like scale is important to me, and clearly Hot Wheels doesn't, when they're dealing with like planes and cars and buses, and like I'm sure Bumblebee is probably about the same size as that cab on Optimus Prime.
Yeah, it's like, I think it actually may be bigger.
Right. So like that does bother me. But then I started thinking kind of outside the box, or really more inside the box, because if you want scale, that's outside of the Hot Wheels box. But if you start thinking like Hot Wheels, think like toys. I don't really want planes. The Vamp, the Awestriker, Stinger, stuff like that are probably a given. The Hiss is probably a given. But what about stuff like the Maggot or the Bug? Like, that would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
But let me throw this one at you. Mobile Command Center, but it's like that old Hot Wheels playset that was like a tackle box.
Yeah.
So it's the Mobile Command Center, but it opens up and it's terrain. It's like the top.
And it has a track that they can go down?
Yes. The top would be like the desert, the middle would be the jungle, the bottom would be, a swamp or whatever, or maybe the Terrordrome is in there somewhere. But like make that a big play set. And it includes a few, vehicles with it or whatever. Yeah, like make it what Hot Wheels does best, and then do a track, or do this. The Hot Wheels tracks are still huge sellers. So do a track set that one side is the G.I. Joe headquarters, one side is the Terrordrome, and they race back and forth and have some little pop-up, attack effects or something. Like lean into what Hot Wheels does well, and don't just do these, I'm going to buy this and hang it on a peg, and look at that, it's a little Sky Striker. Like, make some fun toys.
Yeah, that was my thought with it, is like, if you're going to do Hot Wheels, do Hot Wheels. Do the cars that will zip down those little tracks, because that's what I loved about them. It said, give me a Thunder Machine. Like a Thunder Machine in Hot Wheels scale would be so much fun.
I'm looking at some of the Hot Wheels play sets, and honestly, like this city one that for some inexplainable reason has a shark, just because jumping cars over a shark is awesome. Like, honestly, if that was G.I. Joe, I would eat that up.
Cobra water robot or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, so Yorktown Joe mentioned the Vamp and the Stinger that are a little bigger than Hot Wheels. Those were Jada toys. And they were showing up in like Ace Hardware and Walgreens on those big die-cast displays. I never saw them around here, and I looked for them because I wanted to. I mean, if there's a new G.I. Joe toy, I want to find it.
Yeah, especially they were like $10, and I picked up the larger die-cast, the Jada ones they sold at Target.
Yeah, I got those.
The Hiss and the Vamp.
Yeah, and I had to order them though because I never saw them at retail.
Oh, I saw them at retail. No. Actually, it's funny because I saw that 3-pack of the die-cast like mini cars that are a little bit larger than like Micro Machines.
Those are still.
I see those every time I go to Target.
Yeah, those are still hanging around. Those and the Back to the Future ones.
Yeah, I got some on clearance, so I picked up a second one just because it was like $2 the other day.
Yeah, I've got quite a few of those that are supposed to be giveaways or something at some point. But yeah, let's continue on with Hot Wheels G.I. Joe, but make it fun. Don't do this, because you can see right here on this Hot Wheels Premium. Okay, so I'm going to pay $10 for a little Sky Striker that if I took it out of the package, it's barely even special anymore. Yeah, it still says G.I. Joe on the wing, but I don't know. This is less exciting to me than if they leaned into like toys. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, like something like this, I would rather see more stuff from Jada Toys.
Yeah.
All right.
And they'd probably be a lot cheaper because Jada Toys, I'm sure it costs less to license stuff to Jada than it does to Mattel.
So that's it. We got no more news, which is not a huge surprise. But fortunately, on our last live stream, we started down a path inspired by HissTank. If you go to hisstank.com right now, they are in the throes of their March Madness voting, where anybody on HissTank is eligible to choose 16 Joes and 16 Cobras. I said this like I have 16 fingers. Just pretend I'm AI. 16 Joes and 16 Cobras, and they're going to do a tournament to determine the choice of the new generation. I don't know. They do it every year, and it's just fun to watch along. Some people get more into it than others. People are probably betting on it. I don't know, but our last live stream, we went through our 16 Joes and realized that took up enough time to where we needed to save our Cobras for another episode. And that is what we are going to do tonight. So what the procedure for this was, we took turns listing, what do we do, 4 at a time?
Yeah.
Or 8 at a time? No, we did 8 at a time.
Yeah, I think so.
8 is enough.
8 at a time.
To fill our hearts with love.
So we went around, we dropped 8, went to the next person, they dropped 8. But we did include visual aids because we were pulling up 3D Joes or Yo Joe, depending on what the character was. There were a couple of instances where we didn't have a visual on it, but we've got the year, we've got the character, so we are going for specific looks and not just this character, which goes to my first. Well, real quick, let's run down what our 16 Joes were. I'll just go first. My first 5 are the Special Mission Brazil set. Then 1988 Super Trooper, 2005 Bomb Strike, 2003 Barrel Roll, 1987 Fast Draw, 1987 Psych Out, 1986 Sci-Fi, 1986 Lifeline, 1985 Airtight, 1993 Robo Joe, 1985 Snake Eyes, and 1988 Repeater. So that was my 16. Kristian, what were yours?
So my 16 were Lightfoot, Frostbite, Listen and Fun Tripwire, Deep Six Version 2, Ambush, Topside, Mega Marine Mirage, Eagle Eye Joe, Fun School Canary Ann, Star Brigade Sci-Fi, which is version 4, Magnitools Super Joe from 1977, Star Brigade Heavy Duty, Tiger Force Big Brawler version 2, Mercer version 2, Fun School Spearhead and Max, and Night Force Sneak Peek.
All right, and now the looniest for last.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have my full list because I moved some stuff around.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, that's fine.
Space Shot.
Oh, okay.
1994. Yeah, I'm gonna do it the best I can. Space Shot 94, Beachhead 94. Did I do Dial Tone 94? Yeah, I can't remember which one of these I pulled out.
You did blue.
I have a long list.
Had a crazy helmet. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Look, if you want to hear Noel's list, you're going to have to go watch the episode on the Needless Things YouTube channel or give it a listen wherever you get your podcast. You can get Noel's full list of misunderstanding the assignment.
And here I thought Noel and I were finally bonding.
So now we are going to go into the 16 Cobra characters that we would most like to see in Classified. Jeff Butler says we need a Listen and Fun Snake Eyes. You'll never know if the tape is broken if it's silent. I would like to see a Listen and Fun Snake Eyes that. Okay, would he stick to the orange color scheme of Listen and Fun Tripwire, or would he have his own different?
This is how you get Banana Snake Eyes into the line.
No, because that's Tiger Force. That's Tiger Force. That's a
True.
different thing. I think Listen and Fun Snake Eyes is neon pink and gold. Because what's more fun than that? And it's so loud you can almost hear it. All right. So Kristian, I think we started with you last time. Let's start with you again this time. Your first 8.
Okay.
And I'll let me do a little screen share here.
Okay. So my first 8. Number 1, the most obvious one, is gonna be Overkill.
Okay. What now you've had 2 weeks. Did you add your years?
I did not. I know.
I was pretty good at calling these last time, but Overkill is a little outside of my.
Overkill is 1992. I want G1 robot looking Overkill. I want him to have the giant backpack.
What is Overkill?
Make it detachable.
Well, hang on. I'm looking for our image here.
Sorry. Talking Battle Commandos.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that guy. Straight off of Noel's Joe list.
Might as well be, right?
I want the chest cavity that opens up.
Yes, of course.
The secret gun inside. He can come also with the flame effect that is now as popular as Man-E-Face's legs in the Motu Classics toy line, because it seems like every figure is getting Torch's flame effects. Yeah, I love the color scheme. I just think it's a great design. So that is my number 1. My number 2, I was trying to pull up the year. Give me one moment. I think it's 93.
All right. I should just stay in the 90s, shouldn't I?
It is.
Look, I was looking, and most of the ones from like 82 to like 87 have already been done.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is the Headhunter Stormtroopers, which
was that the 93 ones?
1994, sorry.
Okay.
1994, they've got a skull type helmet and look a little more.
What are they? Headhunter Stormtroopers?
They would be with the.
They would be with.
They're not with any of these. Are you sure they're 94?
They are. Which line were you? Because it was.
Well, they're not Shadow Ninjas.
No, it should
They're
be
not
with
Star Brigade.
DEF.
Not Star Brigade.
No, it should be
Check
with
93.
DEF.
Well, I was in 94 and there's no DEF here.
Oh, then yeah, I guess relook at 93. My total bad. DEF.
Somebody's probably telling us in the comments, well, Yorktown Joe
compelling.
says DEF, but there's no DEF.
Yeah. By year.
Headhunter Stormtroopers.
Okay, Yojo.com. They are from 93.
93 Elite Urban
93.
Crime Guards. Let's look at this card back. They're Battle Corps.
Oh, they're supposed to be DEF because they work for
Headman. Yeah, but I don't think 93
Yeah, but I think they combined everything.
Right, everything was just Battle Core.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway,
Hasbro,
whatever. This thing looks awesome.
suck.
Black and gold is great. Are you sure he's not an Iron Grenadier?
Nope. It says here he was supposed to be part of the 1993 assortment of Drug Elimination Force. However, Hasbro decided not to release any DEF toys in 93 and instead repackaged them as Battle Core. And they were discontinued immediately after. But
look at the spikes on this guy.
Yeah. He's like cool 90s design.
Yeah, this is great. This would actually kind of fit in with like Iron Claw as well. Like there are a lot of elements across some of these lines that could be tied together. Yeah, that skull face mask is great. The gold detail, yeah, this is really nice looking. And actually, that's a dark gray, black, and gold with the red goggles. That's great. All right.
So next is also in 1993, and this should come as a surprise to no one, but it is my anti-aircraft trooper, the Flak Viper.
Oh, yeah.
We need someone who can stand next to
the
G1 release Alley Viper.
I cannot sanction his Andre the Giant singlet. and his garter belt situation.
It is,
and his colors. This is horrible. I take back my
the most non-Cobra design of a Cobra troop builder that I've ever seen. And it was one, I was, out of Joe by this point, but my younger brother was still in, and this was one of the figures that he got. And there's just something about the design and the colors that just always got my eye. And honestly, give him that ginormous backpack.
Well, that was my initial reaction was, oh my gosh, I want that backpack. And then as I was drinking in the details of the rest of the figure, from the wrestling singlet to the Fredericks of Hollywood boots to
the version,
colors.
So you can go with the version 1 colors that are, the leotard is still gray, but the rest of him is green and blue. So it's garish, but not quite as loud.
I don't know that there's any redeeming this look. This the first year we did a game show at Dragon Con, we did an instant cosplay game where we brought a trunk of just random costume elements, and the contestants had to throw together a costume and explain what it was. This looks like somebody who lost that contest.
All right. Well, let's go with something a little better, and we're going to move to 1992.
Okay.
And we're going to go with the Cobra Eels version 2.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you here.
I like the design. I love the shark.
Dude, Robo Shark rocket launcher, come on.
I mean, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day that was talking about Eco Warriors, and I said I would even forego my eel if they would just give us a 2-pack of the Robo Shark and Finback the dolphin. But
well, no, you got to keep those pets. They know the value is in the pets, so you keep those separate. We need Deep Six with his dolphin. We need the eel with the Robo Shark. Like they once they get to these, they're gonna know what they're doing.
Okay, so for my next one, Dave.
Well, wait, real quick. We're not done with this guy.
Okay.
Because the deep blue with the neon yellow is great. Oh, Noel is back. Well, Kristian added him. I took him back out. I like his weird visor. He's got this
the helmet design.
He looks like who's the enemy of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy?
There are so many.
Man Ray.
Man Ray.
His helmet looks like Man Ray, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that his shark operates independently, or is a rocket launcher, or is a backpack, come on. Yep. Amazing. All right, what's next?
All right, so for my next one, go into the private chat and click on link number 3 I sent you. Click on the hiss.
What link. Did I tell you about this kind of thing? Sharing from the private chat.
So I want Fun School Metalhead, but Dave, close that photo and open one that is him with all of the helmet and his gear on.
Whoa, that helmet's incredible.
The thing that set Fun School Metalhead also apart is
Leg
he doesn't
hoses.
have the rocket launchers. He comes with Play-Doh to make grenades and Molotov cocktails.
I thought that was handy wipes. It looks like a little thing of Clorox wipes with one sticking out of the top.
It's supposed to be grenades.
This is fantastic. I've never seen
helmet is epic. And much like my Mega Marine, I don't want them to be cowards and skip out of the Play-Doh in order to make his. I know they will, but this is great.
Yeah, I'm the Toxo Vipers have made a mess. Metalhead runs out and says, "I'll clean it up, you guys. I got blueberry and I got cherry. What kind of wipes do you need?" I don't know why he talks like Bobcat Goldthwait, but I'm sticking with that for Metalhead. I don't. Have we gotten to a Deke Metalhead cartoon yet?
Yeah, he's been in some of the ones that we've watched.
I don't
he
think
just doesn't do much.
So.
I don't know, because we had one that was just about him lined up.
Yeah, but wasn't he in the one where they fool one of the very first ones we watched? I can't think of what it's called now, with the robot.
No, I have no sense of what his voice would sound like, so I don't know. This is great.
I thought that Nagahide was the only other Cobra in that besides Destro.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think we've seen Metalhead.
Maybe I'm just having memories from when I did my rewatch.
We'll figure it out.
But okay, so number 6 comes from the happy year of 1993, and we are going with our urban crime commander, Gristle.
Oh, yes. Dude, okay. So I walked back, because I actually have Gristle. I got a deal. He was unboxed here on the channel at one point. I got a deal on a mint on card when we were in Louisville, and bought it. And I love this figure now. Once again, I wish we had Carson on the show to explain what in the world is going on with this pose.
Right. For our listeners who aren't watching this, I don't know if he's trying to urinate on a fire plug, or if he is finally relieving his bowels. Anyway,
he's got some wild poses for Gristle here.
Give me that grimace on his face. I don't need removable glasses. Just sculpt them on.
I'm with you now on that. I wasn't before, but I am now.
But yeah,
Let me ask you this though, Kristian.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this face as I use the little hand cursor to gently massage its jaw. Does this
It's
face
David Lynchian chin.
Does this face remind you a little of Angry Noel?
No, he's too clean shaven.
That's
Well,
true.
now I
That's
need
true.
to see Noel pose with his arm behind his hand like a Sears
Noel,
model
can
to make
you
sure.
give us one of those real quick? Yeah. Look. That's Gristle needs to be. Actually, no, I don't. I'm not promoting this any further because I want to figure out how to do a Gristle costume.
And also, I know we said for Zanzibar we want like real hair for attachment for a ponytail. I don't necessarily need that for Gristle, but I do want a plug-in, ponytail that sticks out and isn't just molded.
Judging from the card art, you need a plug-in ponytail, plug-in sideburns, and a plug-in forelock. And on the card art, he has got Gristle is grizzled.
Right, he's supposed to have stubble, but we saw how their stubble went with Leatherneck, so I am I'm okay with them not attempting it.
No, I want some like sculpted, like deep stubble. If they get to him,
I feel like if they sculpt it, it's just gonna come across looking like really bad acne scars.
Not if they hit the paint app right. That digital inkjet printing is pretty capable of doing some fine stuff now. I think they could get it right because I would like to see this on the figure. This facial expression as well would be nice.
Okay. So
looking at this though, his sunglasses would need to be permanently attached, but also need to be transparent because you can see his eyes behind the sunglasses.
Well,
but I'm okay with them being
easy
don't
enough.
on the toy.
Well, right, but if we're doing classified, we're not doing.
I'm good either way. The most important thing to me is to make him look good.
Well, and I think going by that card art is the way to do it. Because that's just too unique. All right.
So my next, are we at number 7?
I'm not. All right.
Nope. So there is no year. There is no version of this sort of other than maybe Super 7. But before the classified line is over, stop being cowards, Hasbro, and give me Python Patrol Baroness.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh,
let me figure out which. That's your Lady J Toys.
Right. But I mean, they used the same design the Super 7 did.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It is different. Like it has design. It has color. Like the Crimson one, like that was so give us maybe the head sculpts that they used and the hair pieces that they used for that Crimson one, but give us this Python Patrol look. And I guarantee it will sell. And don't make her a 3-pack with the twins, because other than their business suits, I don't think any variants of them will ever sell. All right.
I don't even need the suits. I don't find that very interesting as a 1/12 scale figure.
My last one is from year, I want to say 92 again. Let's make sure.
Now, Noel, I hope while Kristian has
89.
been stumbling around, you've gone and looked up all your years.
I do have all my years except for a couple of the ones that are a little vague.
Oh,
All right.
and Rexship 85. Honestly, I agree with you because I don't think that Python. Rexship says not just her do Python Patrol Destro 2, do it as a 2-pack. I'd love that. I think that there are still enough interesting designs in Python Patrol that you could absolutely still make characters that would sell, and not ones that are going to be peg warmers. And I'm trying to say that as nicely as possible. But coming all the way from actually 1989, our Cobra Hostile Environment Trooper, the version 1 Toxo Viper.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is that? I think that's 88. Yeah.
Oh, 88.
Beautiful.
Okay, that was his, first release.
Oh, were you wanting a different release?
No. That's him. I just, when I had tried to look up the year, I got caught on the fact that he was sold in 88,
I got
89, and 90. But the purple color scheme is great. The helmet is really epic.
I don't know if you know you're not sharing, right?
Oh, whoops. There we go. I'm sitting here looking at the page.
I love the backpack. In case you can't tell, with my first 8, I was definitely thinking more in terms of kind of street level characters that I love that are part of the Cobra team. Lots of drugs, you know, all the things the kids are into nowadays. And this just kind of caps it off after they've had their rave and everybody's thrown up toxic Cobra bile. The Toxo Viper comes in and cleans it all up.
I'm really excited about the possibility of these little canisters on his backpack being on actual, like, softer hoses and kind of having a little hang to them as opposed to, being the stiff plastic like the original.
And if you wanted to, going back to the whole storytelling that they were going after, you could absolutely connect this to the whole dark inner John. He's the more advanced mole trooper that didn't.
He's the result of very slight upgrades to their hazardous materials gear. I would love to see that visor translucent.
Yes.
So you can see the face behind it. But yeah, every bit of this I would love to see upgraded to classified. It'll look great. All right, well, I am going to go next with my first 8. We are going to 1987, and nobody should be surprised. I need a Globulus, and I need it now. I got a fever, and the only cure is more Snake Man. I mean, everybody, even if you hate Cobra Law, everybody has got to be dying to see how classified handles Globulus. I think the curiosity for that is just there. Next up,
and I think that I think Globulus is one of those, like, you can probably bet it's going to happen eventually. Once we got Nemesis Immortal, I was like, yep, we're going to get Globulus.
Yeah, and it's looking like Pythona is potentially in the background of somebody's card art. Who was it? We talked about him. I don't remember now. But anyway, they're going to get to all those 1987 movie characters, I think. So next up, if Yojo will please load. Where's my guy? There he is. I've been asking for him, I think every year since we started the show. Scalpel, the Cobra Medic. I love his gear. I love his, they don't have him geared up over here. That's lame. His look, he is so like, he looks like a Cobra medical officer. Look at this guy. I love the way they designed him, the colors, the actual cutting saw and the hooks and everything that he comes with. It's just an awesome, awesome design. Totally deserving of being in Classified. Also from 2003, if slowjoe.com will load. Everybody feel free to use that. Where's my guy? Oh, wait, he's not. Barrel roll is the... So similar to barrel roll, not the greatest figure design. I think this could stand some upgrades in the looks department, but Blackout, the Cobra Sniper, who is of course related to Bomb Strike and Barrel Roll, I just want these characters in Classified. It's one of the cases where I'm going less for these ads are insane. This is a rare instance where it's less about how great I think the design will look in Classified. More, I just want to see these characters because having the three of them would be very cool. And if they want to do a 3-pack, go for it. But he does come with a ghillie suit. He's got a very unique rifle that I think could be done a little better in Classified. And I guess I would be curious to see how they would adapt some of these more sci-fi 2003 looks in the Classified line. I'm going to get off this page before we all have an aneurysm from the ads loading.
I know that's just like dark gray, but going with the whole Super Trooper thing, just because I really like the armor look of him. If they
you want some back metal?
Back metal. Take my money.
Let's see.
Well, it has officially made its way into Classified, so it's only a matter of time.
That's true. That's true. All right. Next up. Oh, come on. Is there not just a single? Why is everything 2 images? There we go. From 2024, Chameleon. Just need this character in Classified. We need, as we mentioned during the Joe run, I think we need representation of the Energon universe in Classified, and I think Chameleon would be a great way to kick it off. It's great design, interesting character. Now, granted, Chameleon has been around since, 98, I think is when that 3-pack came out.
Yeah.
But this is a new iteration, new interpretation of that character.
Who is not the Baroness's twin sister or half-sister or whatever she is.
Right, at least as far as we know.
Yeah.
Right.
And surprising no one. Well, I'm not even going to bother with this. Everything is loading so slow. I just want Mercer from Energon Universe as well. And yes, I will take an Energon Mercer before any other Mercer. I'm good with that. All right, we're going to 1994. One of my favorite weirdo figures that I never had that has... Oh, I stopped sharing for some reason. that I found out like long after I got out of Joe. You guys know I need Lobotomax.
I mean, if you're going for Lobotomax, you got to go for all three of them, right?
Well, no, I want all three of them, but I'm trying to sort of mix things up. Look, I want all of these weird monster creature characters, and just like Globulus, this is one that, like, even if you hate these, you got to be curious of how Classified would do them.
Yeah.
So Lobotomax is next up. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next up, my 7th pick. Sticking to a theme here. The genetically enhanced undersea monster. And I actually do have this figure because I got a deal on it on, I think, Mercari. But I want those big, giant, articulated tentacles. This figure is a good over 5 inches tall, I think, looking at the shelf.
The first time I saw that figure out in public, I thought it was a Ninja Turtles figure.
I never would have thought it was Ninja Turtles, but I definitely would not have placed it as G.I. Joe. It's too much. I just never would have thought that.
I just thought it was some sort of like weird like mantis or lizard or something, mutated creature.
Yep. This was during my, like, when this was coming out. I was like, does G.I. Joe not realize that Star Wars happened? Star Wars is over. What is going on?
But
and
I do think
adult me loves this.
I do think Noel is onto something, though, in that they were in the 90s. Joe was trying to catch a Ninja Turtles vibe. That's where all the colors came from. That's where the accessories on the sprues came from. Like, a lot of what we see from 90s Joes and other toy lines is a response to the success of Ninja Turtles.
I mean, look, Dogfight looks just like Ace Duck.
And that's it.
They were doing all sorts of weird, wacky crossovers.
In what you're saying, Noel.
So my 8th pick, moving right along, just sticking in the same year, and I will be looking for one of these guys at Toylanta. The Monstro Viper, the genetically enhanced bio beast with a big cyborg fist, ball and chain, wacky color scheme. I wouldn't be mad at them deviating a little bit from the brighter portions of these colors. Like that wouldn't upset me.
But even if they chicken out of the Play-Doh, he better come with his gut bomb that he can throw. Like, give me a big wad of intestines that are part of his weapons.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. It has to have that. So yeah, I want some big monsters in Classified. All right, Noel.
I need to find a replacement because he was on my list.
All right.
Noel, first 8.
So I'll start in 1991, and this is a bit of a cheat because we just talked about it the other night, but this is one I got to have in my Classified collection. We're going to go with the Cobra Interrogator, who is a vehicle driver. So I don't know if he appears in that list, or does he? Yes, there he is.
He does.
Yeah. I love this design. Always have. It's, one of my favorite 90s Joe designs. So love the color scheme, love that helmet. Yeah, got to have them. And as we talked about before, I don't necessarily need the battle copter, but maybe you go.
Yes, you do.
Maybe you throw in one of those little like portable helicopters like they did back in 1987 for the Joe line, the little wind-up one.
At Five Below, they're selling helicopters like that just have a GI Joe sticker on them, so you could easily do that on the cheap.
No, I want a one-man helicopter unit, backpack style, like this. Now, it doesn't need to actually launch. I don't need that, but I want a classified interpretation of this. As a matter of fact, I'll take that before the Fang. And yes, Tom Henry, I know them's fighting words.
All right.
All right.
Number 2, I know Kristian talked about a few of his underlings, but I got to get me a 1992 Headman.
I figured he was going to be on your list, which is why I left him off of mine.
Yeah, I mean I was figuring that one of us would have to throw him out at some point, but yeah, he's he's just so cool. He's got a pinstripe suit and a bandit mask and a fedora and a giant gold gun.
Is this Michael Hayes?
He's from Bad Street, Atlanta, GA.
So let me ask you this. You know, Hasbro is famous for using suit bodies over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be upset if they do Tomax and Zaymot in their suits and then just reuse those molds for Headman?
No, because this, like, they did the did they use the same suit for another figure?
Well, I'm noticing his legs are quite different. He does not have
he doesn't have pinstripe legs.
Well, and he doesn't have suit pant legs. He's got like he's got his trousers are tucked into his spats.
Yes.
So I hear what you're saying, Dave, but I feel like you are not giving Headman the credit that he deserves, because I think you make Headman and reuse his mold for Tomax and Zaymot.
Well, you reuse his mold for one of the two, but that has to be the opposite for the other side. Yeah. So maybe Tomax gets that.
You know who you reuse this mold for is Buttons McBoom Boom. From Cops.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, really close. Hang on. Like, even down to the spat. Oh, my gosh. All right, hang on. Oh, give me a close-up. There we go.
And we definitely... we need to
get...
the next Deke review we do should be Headman's episode.
Oh, yeah. Lieutenant Falcon.
So here's, for those who are watching on the Needless Things YouTube channel, there's Buttons McBoom Boom from Cops and Crooks with his weird pants spat situation. And here's Headman. Well, Buttons McBoom Boom is not double-breasted. It's similar, but it's not as... I mean, you could get away with it. That's funny. It's really the pants that are yelling out at me. All right, anyway, we got to move on.
All right. Well, to go along with the Headman, also released in 1992, we got to go with the Headhunter version 1.
Okay, I'm curious to see this one.
Such a great figure.
It really is.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Well, you know what? He also looks kind of like a Cops and Crooks character.
Kind of does. Yeah, just
also kind of Mad Max looking.
Yeah. Yeah, with that black leather jacket and all that. I mean, this is shoulder. It's a nice minimalist color scheme, the black and the tan, and then that just little splash of blue right there for his shirt. Love that. I would love to, because I've done the headband costume before. I'd love to have several people do headhunters.
Yes.
And do a photo shoot like that.
Well, you hook me up with somebody who will make me a headhunter's costume, and I'm in on that.
I also love the fact that he looks like he has like a metallic beret on his head.
Well, and the gold detailing on his shoulder pad and on his boots and his legs, the fact that his shotgun holsters in his backpack, which again, the shotgun giving Mad Max vibes as well.
Mm-hmm.
This you could make a great. I'm sure this has been. Well, Mad Max even had the blue shirt.
Yeah.
I'm sure customizers have made a great Max Rockatansky out of this figure.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Mad Max influence on G.I. Joe, if you hadn't noticed.
Oh yeah, of course.
Obviously, some Dreadnoks.
All right, excellent.
All right, for my next one, I actually just stuck the link in our private chat.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy, this is from 1990.
Oh wait a minute, Legion Cub.
Yep,
stuck one
gotta
in there
find
after
Noel.
you.
Oh.
Let's see. Let me try and get the best picture. Oh, I can't zoom, so everybody's just going to have to deal with a little shot.
This would be the Brazilian figure Abutre Negro, which means black buzzer. But I love them using the cesspool torso with that giant cobra symbol.
Yeah.
But I want this figure more than I want cesspool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, has he got a parachute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like he's using the standard Eco Warriors backpack, just without the water container, and that holds the parachute.
Yep.
That's great. This is one I have not seen before.
Yeah, this is new to me.
That's cool. All right.
I'm going to throw another link. This time we're going to go to 2007. Ooh. And we're not sticking with Real American Hero.
That's late years for Noel.
That is some late years for me. Oh, let me get back to the private chat, and I'll stick that link in there. Ta-da. This is a bit of a departure for me.
Like your Joe list wasn't.
What just happened? This is not loading. Oh, because it's slowjoe.com.
It's slowjoe.com.
So while we're waiting for slowjoe.com to load, I will go ahead and mention that I also had Toxo Viper on my list. So when it comes back around to me, I've only got 7 remaining. This is refusing to load.
Okay. Well, I've got it up on mine. I can probably share real quick.
Okay. Give it a shot.
I got to remember to do that.
It's under present. Yes.
Share screen. And I'm going to share that tab right there. This is the Red Banshee Cobra Robotic Cycle, which is a figure / transforming street bike.
Okay.
Except it's not loading. Just, had it up in the
same problem.
thing, but yeah. But he's a robot. He's essentially a transformer. There's this cool robot with the metallic jaws teeth there, and the big
can
mantis
ride him?
arms. I
would imagine so.
Probably can. If I can get that street bike mode up here, and yes, he is rideable, I believe. Kind of you could even have him being an experimental upgrade to the Bat. These are new
look at
versions
that
of the Battle Android Troopers that Cobra's testing out.
I like this.
That also turn into street bikes.
I like this a lot. I don't want it in those colors, but I love the design and the concept. The red and the white doesn't say Cobra to me. Do it in back colors.
Is it not? Hang on. I'm actually. It doesn't.
Well, this far into
It's
the
not
line,
showing
which
when I
back
launch
colors?
the images.
I mean, it's on the screen.
Oh, okay. It was. Yeah, it was when I was looking at it. It didn't like it was. Which back? Well, and this was. Hey, we've done several bat variations already in classified.
That's what I'm saying.
This would be great in the classic bat look, but
Yeah.
also, you could do your different variations. Like this looks like kind of like an alley viper bat right here with the orange.
Oh yeah, is that orange or red?
Yeah, he's orange with like some red details.
Okay.
Like there's red on his feet.
All right. What do we got next?
All right. Next up, you know what? We're gonna go 1993. If you want to try to share yours again, this one should be an easy one to find. Yeah. This one you'll be able to find on the classic 3D Joes. 1993 Ninja Force Zartan.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
we don't even really need to share an image of this. At this point, I got to think this is one of the more legendary latter-day Real American Hero figures.
Yeah.
Now, how do you think they handle his leg knives, though?
It's a good question. You could really just do those on the side of his legs, and it makes a lot more sense.
Probably
they're not just crossing the front of his thigh; if they're just on the side.
Like if he squats down, there's no Zanya.
Right.
Yeah, but so when he pulls those incredible ninja whirlwind moves, his thigh is just already cutting you. He doesn't need to take them out of the holster.
Yeah. All right. What is next?
What is next? All right. Next on the list from 1993. We're gonna go. Let's just wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is number 7 for me. For number 7 for 1993, Crimson Guard Commander version 1, Cobra Elite Officer.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not really that crimson, but you could
pretty crimson.
He's almost like a hot pinkish purple here, but no, I mean, you tie him in with the other Crimson Guard. He's got that cool like vest again, giant Cobra, like engraved Cobra logos on the chest. I'm very much a sucker for that. I like the head sculpt looks like it's kind of like an advanced Viper.
I'm going to say the color settings on our monitors are very different because he is red. Oh, okay. You know what's funny though? So looking at him on the screen I have pulled up, he's red. Looking at him in the live stream, he looks like fuchsia.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
Interesting. What are you doing, StreamYard?
Well, what I find interesting about him is so far on 3D Joe's, he has had the most normal poses out of
the 90s
looked at. So mad respect.
All right. Yeah, this is cool. I would like to see this. I like the I always like a big face plate, and then the chest plate with the Cobra sculpted into it. Got a bunch of straps and stuff on him. This would make a good classified figure for sure. But he does need to come with a gigantic spring-loaded rocket launcher.
Yes. Well, when you're adapting all these 90s figures, do they all have to come with a giant spring-loaded weapons?
Doesn't necessarily have to be spring-loaded, but I do want oversized cannons with rockets.
So, looking at the card art, I can't help but notice he has spiked butt straps. Which is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
All right, Noel, what is your 8th?
My 8th figure is going to be from G.I. Joe Extreme 1995. You know, I'm going to put him in my list. Iron Claw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I considered.
Yeah, he was another one that I figured was
going
going to be on either your or Dave's list.
There's not much good stuff to come out of that. I almost had the heavy metal character who was the Joe on my Joe list. But yeah, I got to go with Iron Claw. Do we need to
now? Which Iron Claw?
Oh, version 1. Sorry, from 95. There's like
not the one from the 2-pack.
Right. I'm gonna go with the classic version 1 because that's the one that the 25th figure was more or less based on. Yeah.
So this is the single carded version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this would again be amazing to see them adapt this into classified for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job adapting it into 25th. I think it's a perfect character to bring in. Like, you know, obviously we're cheating a little bit because I've already mentioned several non-Cobra characters, but we're looking essentially at all the villains, lumping them all together.
Yeah. Well, that's how they do it on his tank too.
Yeah,
because as I discussed before, I don't like lumping Iron Grenadiers and Dreadnoks and all of that into Cobra. Yeah, but that's how his tank does it. And for the sake of simplicity, we're basically doing good guys, bad guys. If any October Guard had come up, I probably would have put them with the Joes.
Right.
All right. So that is Noel's 8. And here's what we're going to do, because we do not have time for our back 8 and for Sound Off. So I think we're going to have to save Sound Off for next time and go ahead and finish up. Get this done, get it finished, put it in the rear view. So Kristian, tell us what are your final 8?
My final 8 ties into quite a few of the characters that you had picked, Dave, because I am doing a classified subline of Cobra Law attacks. Now, we're going to use some creative license because obviously we don't have a lot of Cobra Law characters, but over the course of G.I. Joe, there have been very, I think, Cobra Law-esque looking figures. So if you go into the private chat and pull up the very first link that I sent you, we are going to go back to 1977 with a character that is Gore.
That's not the right one. What time did you send me this link?
Oh, it should be the very first.
Oh, like literally the first one?
Literally the very first one in the chat.
The Terron.
Oh!
Yep, Gore, King of the Terrons.
So we'll have, after we discuss this thing, we will have a little commentary that we'll have to mention. There's exciting news on the Gore King of the Terrons front. All right.
So instead of him being an alien, I am just making him part of Cobra Law. He's got a great monster design, and you all know I love some wacky monster designs. I don't need any electronics. I figure he'll probably be deluxe because he needs to be oversized. But yeah, he's got a very Creature from the Black Lagoon-esque kind of vibe to him, except for his V the Visitor head sculpt.
So I'm looking something up here. Keep talking about Gore, King of the Terrans.
Okay. So I in my headcanon for this subline, he is second. He's like the general to Globulus. He is intelligent. He is the one that they send out into the battlefield, whereas Nemesis Enforcer is just this force of nature tearing things apart. Gore is a little more conniving.
Okay.
And he would come with his Destructo Ray. Yeah.
So I'm just going to say this. Kristian, you know this company. You may or may not have seen this. They, I believe, will be at Toylanta, but real quick, let's just take a look at.
They will.
Okay, so you already knew about this.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. Very, very excited.
Do not call it by name. All right. What's next?
Oh, all right. So next is the second link that I sent you. Now,
Okay.
I know in the Energon universe, our Cobra Law citizens have blue skin. However, in mine, we're going to have green because we need Darkon, the half man, half monster.
Not to be confused with Dark Lawn.
Correct.
Darkon is from Darkonia, not Darklonia.
I again just to me a great monster design. You know, you got the beard, you've got
he's like a man, but he's green.
You've got the Robin booty shorts. You've got the giant cannon on his chest. And he would be like the Cobra Law scientist.
Okay.
All right. So from there, go to...
He's green. Run.
To, the link I sent at 8:58. It's going to be right below Noel's. It's going to say
that one open.
Joe Battle Lines because I couldn't find this character on 3D Joe's. So we are going to 2003/2004. Give me Venomous Maximus from the Valor versus Venom line.
There he is. He looks a lot like Duke, but
that's
Duke. Wait, where is he? There he is.
Right there. Look at that. It's like if you cross G.I. Joe with Resident Evil. And I only recently found out about him, and I'm like, how have I not ever seen this figure before? Because he's great. And when I read his bio to find out that he's more or less another attempted version of Serpentor where they just mixed a bunch of DNA, but this time it uses hawks. Like, come on. But the one giant monster hand that looks like it's kind of melting, or he's a burn victim. The Hills Have Eyes face sculpt. It's just, to me, he is such a Cobra Law kind of design. All right. So from there, we'll go to 1994.
All right.
And we're going to look at the Predacon.
Yes. Of course we are. One of us was going to. It was inevitable.
Well, when you pulled up Lobotomax, I was like, oh, thank God I changed my mind.
How do you pick Predacon over Lobotomax, though?
Because he has 4 arms.
Okay, I'll take that. That's fair.
Yep.
I would love to see more detail on those pants. Because they're just all white. Like, more detail on his costume / uniform, whatever you want to refer to it as, in general. But I want to see this
to classify him up.
Yes.
For sure. But great monster.
Absolutely.
And next, we're going to stay in 1994
Good.
because if you're going to have Predacon and Lobotamax, you need Carcass.
Of course.
Because you just need more monsters for the Joes.
We are getting the whole team after all.
Yep. That's why when you mentioned that, I'm like, oh, this is good.
With his bendy fish arms. He's very fishy.
Yeah. But give me the sculpting, like, so that the rib cage, you can, see through it. You've got the guts. You've got the very alien-esque head.
With,
again,
like, holes in the side of it.
You need to classify him up, at least with the paint scheme. Like, there's a lot of design into him that you just can't really make out because it's all just, he's one solid color. I would love it if they could give us an alternate head sculpt where his mouth is open.
I feel like they would. Or articulate it somehow.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, you could articulate that easily.
Yeah.
True. So tying in, we know Cobra Law doesn't like technology, but we've got a scientist. We've got to have some way to get Cobra Law a bat, and I got to figure out a way to get this figure into the line. So, Dave, if you would, because again, he wasn't coming up on any of the other ones. If you look in the private chat for the joeaday.com link, we are going with 1982 from the Red Shadows, Muton.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with this.
I love this figure. Anyone that's listened to the podcast knows how I feel about this figure. Like, it is such a B-movie sci-fi design. And if I were to think of Cobra Law trying to make a robot, this is what I'm thinking. Like, it is.
But it has to be all organic. Like, as we're learning in the Energon comics, they don't even have metal knives.
Yeah, but there is a person kind of inside of that, whether it's a Cobra Law, like,
I can't go with you on this one. Is Cobra Law? I want the character in Classified, but
all right. Well, then I just make him part of the regular line because I want this in Classified.
Well, maybe Cobra. This is like their ultimate blasphemy: is they capture somebody from Cobra Law and put them in this to control, kind of like the snake armor. This is some kind of crude snake armor.
Very crude. All right. And lastly, I combined 15 and 16. This is sort of a combination of character / vehicle, because again, thinking in terms of a Cobra Law subline, Dave, if you will go to the last 3D Super Joe's link, should be right above the 858 timestamp.
Oh yeah.
And we give me Terron, the beast from beyond. So this is a Herculoid looking.
Very fast.
Well, because he's got legs. He can carry your Cobra Law. He can carry your Cobra Law people into battle and outrun them.
It looks like a combination of the ear parasite from Star Trek II and the thing from Herculoids
Yep. Absolutely.
It's like a Protoceratops with an Ankylosaurus's body and 6 legs.
Nerd.
But tell me that you can't actually picture that in that final scene, in the Cobra Law battle.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's too big to be an accessory, a pet for somebody.
Pet, right.
So that's why I say combine the last two, give it to me as a monster that you're also selling as a vehicle that these other Cobra Law figures can ride atop of. But yeah, that's my last 8.
All right. I think I can safely put away the Super Joe's site now and move on.
I promise not to do any Super Joes in my next 8.
I believe you. All right, so the first of my final 8, if he'll stop spinning around for a minute. Do I want Battle Armor Cobra Commander? No. Do I want Hooded Cobra Commander? No. I
want them both.
1991 Cobra Commander. Yeah.
The Michael Shannon Cobra Commander.
Yes, that red translucent faceplate, as seen in the Energon Universe comics, by the way. That golden helmet. Oh yeah, give me this guy in classified before you give me any of those other also ran Cobra Commander looks. I need top tier Cobra Commander, and I need it now. All right, we already covered this recently. So I'll just throw it up here real quick. Thrasher is a must-have in the line for me. We did a special feature on our last episode about vehicle drivers and who were the must-haves and who we didn't care about, and Thrasher was on my must-have list. Gotta have him. He's got too much personality. Even if we don't get the Thunder Machine, which I think we probably will, I gotta have Thrasher. Next up was the Toxo Viper, which we've already talked about. 1991. This might be a little surprise, but I would like an incinerator, a Cobra flamethrower. I picked this figure up a couple of years ago. Speaking of Joe-A-Day, which we were looking at a little while ago, this figure popped up on Joe-A-Day, and that website cost me a decent chunk of change when I discovered. Noel, actually, I think you mentioned it at one point.
Welcome.
I got on there. Yeah. I love these colors. I love this design. That helmet is just so unique and interesting. Again, like a big faceplate, but it also has like the Cobra hood shape sculpted around that faceplate. Lots of scale, textures. Just an awesome looking figure that I really do want to see in classified. All right, going a couple years or a few years before this, back to 1988. And I would love to see the Cobra Knot, the Astro Viper, because that backpack reminds me of the James Bond jetpack a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the laser setup at the top. The helmet's great. The colors, again, kind of Iron Grenadier looking. But this is, I believe, a Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a Cobra Knot, so obviously it's Cobra.
I was done with G.I. Joe. Buying 87 was my last year of collecting G.I. Joe, with 2 exceptions. In 88, I bought Storm Shadow V2, and I bought this guy because I thought he looked so cool.
Okay,
and he had that and it was kind of like the scrap iron effect. He had such a great, set of accessories.
Yeah. So let me ask you though: the figure has a black helmet. The card art has a red helmet.
Yeah, it's a dark gray, is what I have.
Which do you prefer?
I like the gray.
I'm starting to wonder if Noel and I just perceive colors differently.
It's definitely gray.
Okay.
It's the same color as his pants.
Well, I've got him on the shelf over there.
Oh,
Well, see, looking at the screen on my screen.
I kind of like the red on the card art, even though it is sort of matchy.
The
I
red
think it
looks
makes the visor part just more noticeable.
well. It looks kind of Flash Gordon-y.
Yeah,
With the red,
mm-hmm.
which I like, but I do like the dark gray, as Noel says, with the yellow visor. So either one I'd be okay with. They could come with both. Why not?
Yeah.
We're going to stay in 1988 with one that I'm actually kind of surprised neither one of you picked.
I couldn't remember if they've announced him yet or not.
I checked. I think he has been heavily rumored for like 3 years now, but has not been even pipelined yet.
Because when they said Darklon, I know that one's coming, but I thought that they also had mentioned, because there was another one like, we haven't gotten an IG Destro yet, but we've gotten like several of these announcements about IGs.
I checked his tank's list, and he's not on there, and I don't think that he's been mentioned. But yeah, Voltar, Destro's general, definitely. I mean, that color scheme is wild. Actually, I realized that's very close to the color scheme I suggested for Listen and Fun Snake Eyes. But the backpack with and when you're doing a vulture for classified, please make it like Freedom and not like Poly.
Yes.
All right, staying in 1988, even though it is not one of my top choices, really, it would be dumb to do all these other Iron Grenadiers and not do Iron Grenadier Destro, which clearly they're going to do. But I figured I kind of have to put him on the list because he has not been announced in any way. I do want the rest of that team, so I do want this Destro. And actually, I guess he should be on the driver's list. Well, he's not on my must-have drivers list because I don't need the despoiler.
Right.
But I think if they do him, they'll do the despoiler.
I think he's got to come with the despoiler.
As I said, you do him as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive with the despoiler like you did with Serpentor.
Maybe. I don't know. I almost wonder if he's more wanted than Serpentor and would warrant like a fan channel release. I don't know.
That's pretty bold.
I think he's too popular to be a Comic-Con release. But I don't know. And then finally, wrapping things up, only because of a recent Deke episode that we reviewed, the Annihilator, Destro's Elite Trooper, sticking with that Iron Grenadier theme, even though Iron Grenadiers are not like really my wheelhouse. I love this design. It's nuts. It has a helicopter backpack. It's orange and purple and weird. Let's bring it. I want to see it.
Love it.
And I have pending dog news upstairs. So Noel, you are going to have to take over your own screen sharing for just a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, then, I guess I need to get to 3D Joe's so I can pull up my first one.
He was looking for something when, before the episode started, he was like, oh, I thought I had a bag of cough drops here. And I was like, I bet your dog has very clean breath right now. And I bet he has very clean vomit. Anyway.
Okay, thank you. 3D Joe's pop up. All right, let me go. 1992. All right, I'll pull up my first one before. Oh, no, I'm going 86 first. That's right. Because this is one that I just feel is missed. All right, so let me go ahead and present. because, I mean, it has to be done.
Oh, yep.
Is it sharing? Because I don't see it
No.
on my.
No, hang on. I think I can. There you go.
There we go. Okay. Yep. So yeah, I mean, we've got your 3 main core dreadnoks. Couple of them were a little more disappointing than I wanted them to be. So maybe we'll get some good retro releases where they'll just redo the heads and mold those glasses on permanently, much like they need to do when they do Monkey Wrench. Because now this is like, I love the Monkey Wrench design. I think he aesthetically fits very well with those first 3 dreadnoks, and the fact that we haven't gotten an announcement about him yet is puzzling to me, because we've gotten the Naugahyde and the Road Pig, and yet
Yeah.
no Monkey
When I
Wrench.
think of Dreadnoks, he is actually number 4.
Yeah.
Like, and
like,
then Road Pig. Definitely before Naugahyde. But I consider him one of the main core.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, even though he is afraid of spiders, on sticking with the Dreadnoks, gotta have my Heart Wrencher. I mean, come on, she's so toyetic. I still love my dream casting of Rhea Ripley as Heart Wrencher in a G.I. Joe movie, but that'll maybe happen one day. But yeah, I mean, you can also reuse some of Zorana's parts for her, so easy parts for usage for your Heart Wrencher. My question is, do you actually release the Dreadnok Vamp recolor with the Heart Wrencher?
Oh, people would buy it.
Oh yeah, I mean, would.
Yeah,
I'd drop another hundo on that
easily.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So.
Oh, and Wreck Ship, or as we're calling him tonight, I Know Things Ship, says Monkey Wrench is supposed to be in the next wave after Blowtorch.
I hope so. I said I haven't heard anything official, but
okay.
But yeah, I mean, it seems inevitable.
Oh, and we lost Noel. So, while we're waiting for him, I want to hit up the chat. White Vegeta wants the standard blue troopers from the Renegade cartoons. Absolutely. I'm always down for a good troop builder. Rachel Salinas hitting us back with Dave's Cobra Commander pick for Leg Day Cobra Commander. I noticed that earlier. I wanted to pull it up, but Dave was moving so fast. But it looks like we have Noel back. So let me.
Yeah. So this is the thing with
up.
This is the thing with me pasting links in, is I accidentally pasted it into the Streamlabs tab because I was looking at the picture of Heart Wrencher while trying to paste something else in. So I will represent again since I've got all my stuff ready to go. And
while you're doing that, 2 quick things to clear up. One, you are correct. That helmet is gray on the Astro Viper. And we were discussing the classified breaker that's coming out. It is not retro card back. It is part of the mass device releases.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So yeah, I'm going to continue my little Dreadnok run here for a moment because we got to have Azania in the line to go with our Heart Wrencher and our Monkey Wrench. So, I mean, again, you can, if you want to cheap out, you can use the same Zorana upper body like you can with Heart Wrencher. But like, I would love to see what they do with that hair, with the dreadlocked hair on her. Like maybe,
Zania did not look like that in the her clothing did not look like that in the comics. They did that to save money, and I don't want the same thing in classified.
Yeah,
because it's going to be way more apparent at 1/12 scale, and it was pretty apparent at this scale.
Mm-hmm. All right, for my next one, I did not get a link for this one, but I'll find it here in a second.
Reverend Scott Stripling Art asked, are they doing Battle Armor Cobra Commander? He has not been announced as of yet, but there's no doubt in my mind they'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. So for my next one here, let me go ahead and toss him in because look.
Yes.
We need an Iron Grenadiers Roddy Piper. Come on, pay some tribute to the late great Roderick Toombs, and get him into classified. It makes sense with all the other IGs that we're getting. You know, throw him in there as well as the trainer.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Slaughter in, so who knows? Who knows if this is one they can pull off? All right. Next up is going to be a twofer. A twofer, like the character on 30 Rock. Because I need me a tad retro Cobra Commander and Destro from Marvel Comics.
Yes! John Lennon Cobra Commander.
Do this as a 2-pack. I would be over the moon if they did these two.
I'd be happy to see them in Reaction Plus.
I would too.
Don't need them in classified, but I will ask this question: why is Cobra Commander still wearing that when he takes off the battle armor in an issue that we'll be reviewing very soon?
That's a good question. You know what? Sometimes you just like this style works for me, so I'm going to go with it for a while. Yeah. No, I mean, I thought about these. Yes, they would be great for Reaction Plus, but I could see them beefing them up into a 6-inch figure. And they are doing Sunbow stuff, so maybe they'll explore some Marvel stuff as well. All right. I'm going to go back to because I figured this one would be easy to find on 3D Joe's. So let me go, find it again there. All right, figures. 1992. Electronic Supersonic Fighters.
No way.
Oh wow.
I'm impressed, Noel.
I love this Major Blood. I mean, you know what? I even love that giant Sonic thing because it's like a rocket backpack.
Well,
but
I love all the pack.
You don't love all the grenades?
I do not, because so here's why.
Everybody loves the grenade.
Later on, they repainted this figure in more standard Major Blood colors. Carson with some great posing again here. And released him as part of the like late 90s, early 2000s stuff. Mm-hmm. And I always hated it. And these colors do not make me like it more.
See, I love these colors. I love the blue and the yellow. Like this is when they made those 90s colors work for me, was on ones like this.
I mean, I like these colors, but all those grenades are just insanity.
But
I mean, the grenades are silly. But that's what I love about it. It's like, aside from maybe Monkey Wrench, also on my last 8 here, who else could get away with that many grenades but Major Blood?
And if he's flying over you, how much damage can his gun really do?
Okay, so I will give you that. With this jetpack, those grenades make a lot more sense than they do on the repaint of this figure that was just a standard Major Blood walking around with a dozen grenades strapped to it.
Honestly, we need another Major Blood because we only have the Cobra Island one.
Yeah.
This would not be my third choice.
Oh, I got my share went away.
Oh, yeah. Are you ready?
Yep, I got my last one coming. This is a repaint of an existing figure. But you know what? If it gets us an articulated kangaroo, give me a Kangor any day.
Yes.
You just take your big boa, you just make those colors even brighter. You give them that dark, and you could even go further than they did with the FSS figure, and just like make him like almost neon colors at this point.
Well, yeah, because isn't the actual Fun School one?
He's a little brighter than your regular. He still keeps kind of the same color scheme.
Okay.
But he's definitely a lot brighter, and he has that red cod piece instead of the silver one. And
I'm surprised they didn't give us the kangaroo to begin with as pet heavy as they like the line to be.
I think when they name dropped him, people almost assumed that he would come with the kangaroo. No, I'm going to steal the screen from you for just a second.
Oh, go right ahead. That was my 8th one, so that is
okay.
That's number 16.
Excellent choices, Noel.
So
there's the repaint.
I don't like it as much. I love it with the blue and the yellow Major Dud.
Reverend Stripling with the good commentary.
I take back what I said. The other colors are far, far better than this. This is just no good. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. Here is what we're going to do. We are going to save our sound offs from tonight because none of them were time sensitive for our next live stream. So tune in for that. But this was more show than we anticipated. Lots of great Cobras. The more we talk about getting these 90s figures into classified, the more excited I get about it. I want to see how they're going to interpret some of these things. And like Kristian, with your Super Joe stuff, like bring it. I want to see these like weird creatures and monsters and like all of this kind of stuff. I'm ready to bring it in because I've got shelves and shelves and shelves of just humanoids and people. And don't get me wrong, I want to continue with that, but we need to spice things up a little bit. You know, we've been married to classified for like 5 years now. It's getting a little stale. It's getting a little milquetoast. We need to spice things up. We need to bring some excitement. We need to bring some weird toys into the relationship to keep things going. So our music is by Andy Samford of electricminnowmusic.com. Follow us on Instagram at Audible Interlude Podcast. And while you are there, check out the pinned stories and order some merch. Our next live stream, March 10th for sure. March 3rd, maybe. Keep an eye on Audible Interlude Podcast, and we will update there as needed. Kristian, where can we find that toy photography that you do so well?
You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky under the name Legion Cub.
And Noel, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Finest? The Finest is an international G.I. Joe costuming club that raises money for an amazing charity called Canines for Warriors. If you are at your next toy show and you happen to see us with a booth, drop by and talk some Joe with us, and hey, drop by a few bucks, maybe pick up some cool swag. You will see us at Toylanta coming up here in just a scant few weeks. It's coming up in just a month or so. And everybody hanging out, don't touch that dial. Breaking news exclusive here on the show, straight from Brett Barton himself. You will also see us at Joelanta September 26th, 27th, and 28th.
This will be happening at the Gas South Convention Center in Duluth, Georgia. Tickets and vendor registration coming soon. Joe Lanta Action Figure Show at the end of September. Audible Interlude will be there doing the things that we do. There's a little exclusive for you. That's why you stick around to the end of the show. So until next time, yo, Joe.
Cobra. She's only 16.